Okay, ready to dive in. Imagine, like waking up and your only goal is to just find enough food to survive.
Oh, wow.
That was life for most people just 2 centuries ago. No Netflix, no stressing about deadlines, just pure survival.
Just surviving, yeah.
And today we're going deep on this question that's so simple but also kind of mind-boggling. Is the world getting better or worse?
Yet.
The answer, my friend, is a paradox.
I like paradoxes.
Get ready to be amazed and maybe a little bit uncomfortable.
Okay, all right. I'm ready.
So it's fascinating. We humans, we love to focus on all the negative stuff.
You do.
But, the truth is the progress we've made as a species, it's pretty stunning.
It is.
Let's talk about extreme poverty.
Okay.
200 years ago, that was the norm. It was just like what everyone lived like.
It was.
Today, less than 10% of the world lives in those conditions.
That's right.
That's a change so massive, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around.
It is, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
even just saying that number, it's like, wait a minute. That can't be true.
Yeah.
But it is.
It is. So I was reading that 200,000 people escape extreme poverty every day.
Every day. Yeah.
Every single day. That's like a whole city saying goodbye to that hardship.
Yeah. That's more than the population of, like, my hometown every day.
Wow, that's incredible. What fueled this incredible transformation? Like, how did this even happen?
Well, I think it's like a perfect storm of a few things.
Okay.
A couple of things coming together at once. So first, you have these innovations in agriculture, like mechanized farming and fertilizers,
Right.
which meant all of a sudden we had a boom in food production. We could grow more food.
Okay.
And then at the same time, you have industrialization, which made goods cheaper and more accessible.
Right.
And then to top it all off, global trade-connected economies, it boosted growth. It's like this amazing combination that's reshaped the entire world.
Yeah. Okay, so more food, more stuff, we're all more interconnected. What about our minds?
Education.
Right.
In the 1800s, finishing primary school was like a luxury. Only the elite got to do it. Today, over 90% of children globally finish primary school.
Wow.
Literacy rates have skyrocketed from under 10% to over 85% in just 2 centuries. It's like this explosion of knowledge and opportunity.
From almost no one being able to read to almost everyone being able to read.
Yeah, almost everyone.
It's amazing. It's like humanity as a whole leveled up.
Big time.
Okay. Speaking of leveling up, what about our health?
Oh, man, healthcare. I mean, we eradicated smallpox.
Right.
Completely eradicated it. A disease that terrorized humanity for centuries, gone.
Just gone.
It's unbelievable. Vaccines and modern medicine are saving lives every day.
Every day. And we're living longer than ever, too. I mean, the average life expectancy has more than doubled, right? From 31 years in 1900 to 73 years today.
More than double.
I mean, that's like adding an entire second lifetime to your life.
It's mind-blowing.
It's pretty wild when you think about it.
It is. But, it's not all sunshine and roses. Progress isn't always like, a perfectly smooth upward climb. It's a little bit messy, it's uneven, and, it often comes with some consequences we didn't expect.
So you're saying there's a shadow side to all this progress.
Yeah. I mean, think of it like this.
What's lurking in the darkness?
So while extreme poverty has declined, the gap between the haves and have-nots, the gap between the rich and the poor, it's exploded.
Okay.
The richest 1% now owns more than half of the world's entire wealth.
Wow.
Which means, billions of people are still struggling just to meet basic needs, like food, water, shelter, even as others are, accumulating just unimaginable riches. It's a stark contrast. We can't ignore that.
So progress for some, but at what cost to others?
At what cost, yeah. And it's not just wealth, right? Our planet's feeling the strain of all this progress, too.
Oh.
I mean, industrialization, it helped lift people out of poverty, but it's also left scars, deforestation, pollution. And now, we're facing the threat of climate change, which could unravel everything.
It's almost like we're all on this amazing spaceship,
Yeah.
Spaceship Earth, but we've been trashing the place while enjoying the ride.
It's a good analogy. And here's a stat that's hard to swallow. In the last 50 years, we've wiped out 70% of vertebrate wildlife populations.
70%.
70%. It's like if you imagine all the animals from 4 continents just gone.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that silence, the emptiness.
Yeah, it's a sobering thought. It's like a reminder that everything we do has ripple effects.
Yeah.
And sometimes, those ripples turn into tsunamis.
They do.
Okay, so we've trashed the planet a bit, but at least we're living longer.
Yeah.
That's still progress.
Well, yeah, longer lives, but it doesn't always mean healthier lives, right?
Right.
We're seeing this rise in what they call diseases of affluence.
Mm-hmm.
Heart disease, diabetes, obesity, like all this stuff is on the rise.
From our modern lifestyles.
Yeah. Our modern lifestyles are taking their toll. And even scarier is, in some countries, life expectancy is actually declining.
Really?
Yeah, because of things like opioid addiction and suicide and chronic diseases.
It's like we traded one set of problems for another. We're living longer, but with new challenges to face.
Yeah, longer lives, but different problems. That's a trade-off we didn't really see coming.
Yeah. I mean, and then there's technology, right?
Right.
It's like this super powerful tool. I mean, you can use it for incredible good or incredible harm.
It's true. Like the internet. It connects billions of people, it democratizes information, and it creates all these opportunities that we never could have imagined before.
Oh, yeah.
But then it's also got this dark side, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about it. The same technology that connects us can also be used to isolate us. It can fuel addiction. It can spread misinformation like crazy. It really is a double-edged sword. We got to be careful with this one.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. So, okay, we've got this amazing story of progress, right?
But it's tangled up with some serious challenges. It's almost like we're looking at two sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
Why is it so hard to see the whole picture? Why do we get so stuck on one side or the other?
Well, I think part of it is, honestly, our wiring.
What do you mean?
We humans, we have this built-in negativity bias.
Negativity bias.
Yeah, like we're wired to focus on the negative. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Think about our ancestors.
Okay.
They had to be hyper-aware of threats to survive.
Right. Saber-toothed tigers.
Saber-toothed tigers, yeah. So, bad news, it sticks to us like Velcro. Good news, it just slides right off. It's like an evolutionary leftover from those days.
So you're saying it's not entirely our fault that we like to doom scroll? It's like in our DNA?
Well, I don't know about doom scrolling, but yeah, it's part of our, survival toolkit that we inherited. And it's made even worse by, the media.
Oh, right.
They thrive on sensationalism and fear-mongering. Headlines screaming about disasters and crises, those grab our attention way more than stories about slow and steady progress.
Makes sense. It's like clickbait for the brain.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like our brains and the media are working together to feed us this constant stream of negativity. No wonder it's so hard to stay optimistic.
It's exhausting.
It is. And then you add in what they call the problem of scale.
Problem of scale.
Yeah. Like our brains, incredible as they are, they really struggle to grasp the vastness of billions. It's really hard to wrap your mind around the scale of both the problems and the progress.
Yeah, it's like trying to imagine all the grains of sand on all the beaches in the world.
Exactly. It's a massive number, but you can't even begin to picture it.
It's too big.
It's too big. And then, we have our moral intuition, like we want to make things better. It often just feels more urgent to focus on what's wrong. And optimism, sometimes it can almost feel like complacency, like you're not doing enough.
Yeah, like if you're not freaking out, you're not paying attention.
Right. So, we're battling our own biology. We're battling the media's negativity bias, and we're battling our own urge to fix the world. It's no wonder it's so hard to see the whole picture.
It's a lot to overcome.
Yeah.
But you're saying that seeing the whole picture is important.
It's essential. We have to acknowledge the amazing progress that we've made. It's a testament to, our ingenuity, our resilience, and our capacity to work together. I think recognizing those achievements should fuel our hope and remind us that positive change is possible. It can happen.
Yeah, it's really amazing when you stop and think about it. We went from barely surviving to eradicating diseases, walking on the moon, building this whole global network of information. What seemed impossible, all of a sudden it's just reality.
It is, and I think that's the heart of it, right? Like our perception of what's possible, it changes over time. What we see as impossible today might be tomorrow's, everyday thing, like smallpox.
Right.
A scourge for centuries and then gone. Just like that. What if we could apply that same tenacity, that same ingenuity to the problems we're facing right now?
It's a good point. It's like we forget sometimes that we're not just these passive passengers on this planet. We're creators, we're innovators, we're problem solvers. We really do have the power to shape our own destiny.
Exactly. And this whole conversation, this whole deep dive, it's not about, being all doom and gloom or, just celebrating naive optimism. It's about understanding. It's about recognizing the good and the bad, the progress and the setbacks, and then using that understanding to, make better decisions and take action.
So is the world getting better or worse? It doesn't sound like there's an easy answer.
It's not black and white. It's like this tapestry with all these different threads. You've got light and darkness, hope and despair, progress and setbacks. But here's the thing. We're not just looking at this tapestry. We're the ones weaving it. Every choice we make, every action we take, it adds a new thread to the design.
I like that. It's a good way to think about it. We're all part of this.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of scary, right? We have all this power, but we got to use it wisely.
It is a lot of responsibility. It's a call to action for everyone. To be curious, to stay informed, to talk to each other, to advocate for change, to just make choices every day that contribute to a better world, and to never, ever underestimate the power of human ingenuity and collaboration. We can do amazing things when we work together.
So what's this chapter?
Yeah.
What impossible problem are we going to solve next? The crazy new heights are we going to reach?
Who knows? But that's the exciting part. The story's not over. We get to write the next chapter. So let's make it a good one.
Couldn't said it better myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the time we have for our deep dive today. Thanks for listening.